your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
White Devils, Season 2, Episode 11. The final episode of Season 2.
The finale.
We'll be back next. We won't be back next week because my partner in crime over here. Hold on, let me switch you because I hate when that happens. There we go. My partner in crime over here will be out of town next week. He's gonna go visit Mickey Mouse.
Yep, catch me in Orlando. 90 degrees every day.
So we'll be taking the week off next week, and we'll be coming back with Season 3. Yeah, this is kind of this is gonna be a weird show. Not gonna be our normal show. We're gonna kind of recap some things that happened over the Season 2, which has been quite weird.
Tumultuous.
But hold on, let me duck out and fix my camera because I could see a white spot in there. So go ahead, Rich.
Guys,
To say the least.
Rob back.
Yeah, I'm back. My sabbatical is about over. I feel better.
This season's been the Empire Strikes Back.
The season started late because Rich was in a medically induced coma.
Yeah.
Eddie's only been here for like 1.5 episodes because he bought a house and he's been doing this whole house, like he's literally remodeled like the whole house.
I'm pretty sure that he's got a show on HGTV.
Like something. But he might be popping in. I sent him the link. I gotta remind him because he's Eddie. But yeah, today's like a recap episode, and we'll get through through some things that happened this week. It's been quiet. We think politically kind of, but it's not that it's been quiet, it's back to normal.
I will, you know what? Like, I will grant them, you know, the people that have this opinion, but like some people have Trump derangement syndrome. We are not those people. But it is, I will grant you that it is much harder to do a political podcast without Donald Trump.
It's Biden's he's only done how many, like he's not on TV every other day. He's not ranting and raving.
He rolls Jen Psaki out every day. I don't know how you say her last name. Which is fine. That's what you're supposed to do. And frankly, I would rather have him acting than bloviating in front of a fucking camera.
We might as well get it out of the way. There's been a lot of conservative people on my Facebook feed this week that has been pointing out that Biden is unfit to be president because he fell up the stairs, going up to Air Force One this week, which I pointed out. How many times have you fell going up the stairs? I've done it quite a bit.
He walks up a lot of stairs.
Yeah, we will get into Como at some point today too, Joe. Yeah, but you go back. Pence has done it. Obama's done it. Obama actually slipped going down the stairs. So Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford like slid down like 6 stairs. Like it was rainy though, but I have a thing about going upstairs when people are watching me. Like I wear slides a lot. Inside my house, I wear Nike slides. I'm actually wearing them today because it's 60 degrees and I walked out the house. I wear Nike slides. Now, 3 times on Friday, I fell going up the stairs because these things, I'm going too fast and they just kind of catch, but whatever happens to Grandpa Joe happens. I mean, and Mrs. Harris is right in there. So
to be honest, like I would have put that right under the same section as cancel culture.
Yeah,
which is shit I don't even really care to even give oxygen to.
Yeah, that it's been like I said, there's a lot of people that were on it.
If that's a level you're playing at politically, you should not be watching that show. Because as much shit as we talk, we actually try to inform with actual shit that's going on, actual policies, actual issues. Like that shit is cornball, gotcha games. Oh, we caught him tripping. Shut the fuck up. Like if somebody came at me like that, I wouldn't even. I would refuse to engage with them. Like you're not even functioning at the same level I'm functioning at. I'm actually trying to inform and come with real information. that stupid goofy shit like he tripped, so he sucks.
The stimulus has hit a majority of people's bank accounts along with their taxes. This last week has been crazy in every store that I tried to go to. Um, yeah, the funniest part, Joe, I was watching they I think Forbes might have did a little article where they had like the top like 5 presidential stair falls involving Air Force One, sorry. And number 1 was Trump with the toilet paper stuck to his foot.
Of course.
2 was Obama slipping because Obama came out looking, like all cool like Obama tried to do, and he starts going down the stairs real fast like he tried to do, and he stumbled a few.
Bro, when people get to like
Nitpicking at little shit.
giving the
Yeah.
like they're supposed to be better than human.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, calm the fuck down. Like you're not even being fair.
But I had somebody ask me if I was going to talk about that, and just okay, he fell. So
well, I guess yeah, and there you go. We did.
We did.
So if you're watching,
now to get into Cuomo has had several more women come forward, including his current aide. Just came forward this week, I believe, with some things too. President Biden has said that he should resign also. Cuomo's standing steadfast and not resigning so far.
the Trump game plan.
Yeah, but it's starting to become a focal point of his daily routine. So it has to be throwing a monkey wrench into his daily plans, and he's probably not able to perform his job to the best of his abilities.
You know
now.
what? You know what though? There was a poll done in New York,
and they didn't care.
And and like, well, it was like
it was pretty evenly
women
split.
Were really supporting him.
Yeah,
minorities were really still supporting him. Even people that thought he was guilty said he shouldn't resign.
We live in a strange world. Strange world.
Well, it's like I've been saying. Like, once you elect a president who has 20-something sexual harassment and or assault cases against him, civil, but
it's kind of hard.
Then it's okay now.
You kind of
made it okay because you said that's not a deal breaker.
Unfortunately,
the Democrats have been doing their Democrat thing, which here's the credit you got to give the Democrats, man. Like, we're not hypocritical about this shit when it comes to the cancel culture. When it's time to cancel a motherfucker, even if it's our own party,
it's time to cancel.
Yeah, we're fucking tossing them out. But he ain't honoring it, man. Like, they're all telling him, Gillibrand and AOC and Schumer and then Biden and Harris, but he's just not going, bro.
Yeah, he's holding steadfast. He
answers to the people in New York.
And the way the polls show that they don't really they're pretty evenly split. I think it was like 52-48 the last one that I seen. 52% that they didn't really care if he resigned or not. It's a weird situation. I would if I was in his shoes, I would step down because it's starting to become a spectacle now. He started to have to speak on it more than he has to speak on, his what he would have to speak on a daily basis in his job.
I don't think I would resign if I was him. Because I hit on some chicks. Like, that's what most of this is about. Like, if there's an actual assault, and there's sometimes where he touched them and got a little extra creepy, but at the end of the day, what do? He hit on some chicks. We can't do that now.
No, you can't. Evidently,
we can't hit on women.
It's
How many times did he actually land the pussy? They're not complaining. It's just the ones that fucking shot him down.
And he didn't even grab him by it.
No. Would he touch on one shoulder or back? We got the pussy grabber. The infamous pussy grabber.
Joe says, hopefully his brother's show gets canceled with him.
Joe,
we don't. Yeah, I don't got the other TV set up right now, so Rich can't see any comments. I got to.
Joe, if you listen to Chris Cuomo's radio show on POTUS Radio, Sirius XM, you'd be a fan. Oh, here in retaliation for what you said, let me try to make my fucking.
He'd rather talk about that than those COVID positive people he sent back to nursing homes. Yeah.
To be honest, I think that's a worse crime.
Yeah.
But that's not what the media is running with.
Yeah.
The media is running with these allegations because they make such hot news. But yeah, I mean, that's what I'd be more upset about personally. if there's an actual crime somewhere or some actual wrongdoing. Now, just for you, Schmo, I'm gonna make my Tucker Carlson face.
Did um did you get your stimulus? Have you been stimulated?
No, I don't get stimulated.
No, you don't get stimulated?
Nah,
Make too much money?
no,
The
no.
homeless people are getting this one.
Well, maybe I gotta check my bank account.
You got
I haven't received one yet.
you didn't even get one the first one or nothing? You haven't received none of the
All right, shameful admission. I don't get fucking stimulus because I still stay at home, and my parents claim me as a fucking dependent. How
uh
fucked up is that for a 39-year-old man to say? Whatever, man. I'm disabled. Got
um
some shit to talk. Fuck off.
you get this one.
Do I still,
Any dependents get it.
or do they get it?
No, you'll get it.
Well, maybe I get a stimulus.
Well, they might get it, but I know my nephew got his, and my mom claims him. So
Hmm.
that's yeah, homeless people are getting it. Like my uncle's caseworker, filed for his the 600 and the 1400. So
If I get the stimulus, I'm throwing it all in the stock market. I'm gonna build with it.
you can build with it. That's actually, you know what? Somebody was asking me about what kind of stocks they should buy the other day. I'm like, why are you asking me? They're like, well, you look like you know some stuff about stocks. I was like, well,
My Facebook's got some day traders on it. All they do is talk stocks.
yeah. I mean, I know I can't advise you like on certain things, but I could tell you what's good at the moment. But a lot of everybody that gets into it, like my nephew, sunk a bunch of money into it, right? He turned 18. He got some money put away, so he wanted to buy some stuff. So he's just buying stuff. He has no idea what he's buying. He's just buying,
Right.
So, but I got him into a couple things that he's been able to turn into something. The way the market's been, like I tell everybody that this ain't normally how the market is. Like it's been very volatile the past
Yeah, you got to watch what
past
that
year.
Reddit page is doing to the market.
Yeah, so
I told my homegirl a while ago to sell GameStop while she could. I think she held on too long and it tanked again.
yeah. But it's been a pretty slow week. That we've been used to political wise. But like I was telling Rich before when he first got to the studio today, I told him it's we're just used to Trump being president and everything being so unorthodox. We forgot what it was.
He fed us.
Yeah, we forgot what it was to have everything kind of like normal and quiet to where
And you know what too? I think part of it is because we're on the winning side. You know, when you're not when you're the out of power party, everything's
yeah,
heightened.
yeah.
You know, but now that we're in power, it's just like, man, just waiting for Joe Manchin to have a stroke.
Biden canceled a bunch of student debt this week, but it was all student debt related to for profit schools that have closed and stuff like that. Places like University of Phoenix or Trump University, and little weird places like that
Yeah,
where people go online and get their CNA degrees or whatever the fuck.
yeah. Also, we hit 100 million vaccines.
100 million vaccines. I myself, I get as of midnight Monday morning, so late tonight, early Monday morning. Um, Indiana switches to ages 40 and over, and this is I'm 40 now. I've been 40 since November. I don't feel 40. I don't look 40, but I'm happy to be 40. That now that I could go get vaccinated, and yes, quite a few people that I know have been like, "I don't believe you're gonna do it. You're gonna get vaccinated. Are you sure that's what you want to do?" Like, yeah, I'm not a fucking moron. Okay. Um, when will Biden have a press conference? Oh, probably when he feels Joe ass. Probably when he feels necessary.
Yeah, you know what? There's one scheduled actually for sometime within the next couple of weeks. They're gonna do one. He just did the interview on was it CBS,
Yeah, I believe so.
and he said some interesting things, especially regarding immigration, which you know what I'll save for when we get to the border issues.
I'm totally fine with not seeing the president every day.
Yeah, I mean, dude, his word is spoken. I need more action out of him than I need for him specifically to inform me. That's what they have a whole press department for. You know, the press secretary speaks for him on a daily basis. um,
Trump says everybody should get vaccinated. It's real,
yeah,
it's real safe.
yeah. Trump said it. I'm getting mine probably when I get back from Orlando.
Yeah, I get this.
My first one.
I'm not planning on being able to actually schedule my appointment once it opens up because it's probably gonna be backed up. But I don't also know how smart these people are in the rest of Indiana as opposed to our little very urban northwest corner.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be I'm gonna be waiting. I'm gonna be waiting. 11:59. I'm on the rshot.indiana.gov and I'm gonna be waiting. I'm gonna be boom. There's a place literally. There's a vaccination site like 3 blocks from my house. So on whatever one they got available for me, I don't care which one it is. I prefer the Moderna one, but it's whatever they have. I'm not gonna turn down. And let's go. Let's get this over with. Um, I mean, I kind of want it for a selfish reason because now that the CDC says that vaccinated people don't have to have masks or really social distance like that.
I thought they still wanted masks.
No, like you don't have to have one, but they still recommend it. Basically, I think they still recommend it because everybody else around you is gonna fucking spaz the fuck out.
Yeah. Because well, they still don't. Even when you're vaccinated, they don't know if you can catch it. You might not feel it, but you can still spread it. I think. I don't
So
know, man.
they also changed their in person learning guidelines to 3 feet of social distancing
Yeah,
down from 6.
that was a big one. So maybe more kids in classes.
Yeah, definitely. Carnival Cruises is launching 2 cruises. 2 ships are going back out on the water. I believe in a month or so. I forget the exact date, but it will be. Um, they have to have proof of being vaccinated if they're 18 and older.
And that's been a hot topic. Whether like how is there places they're only going to let you in if you're vaccinated? How do you prove you're vaccinated? Is there going to be an app? Do you get some kind of fucking badge?
Well, everybody, the couple people that I know that have been vaccinated with both doses, they have a little vaccination card that has the stamp and the date on each date that they got their vaccination.
I personally don't care once I'm vaccinated. Like if y'all want to spread that amongst each other,
Go ahead.
yeah, and die and get sick. I mean, I guess that's you're right. And by the way, a poll came out this week that 53% of Republican males are refusing to get the vaccine.
Yeah, where else was there's a lot of military members that are deciding not to get it also.
Yeah. I mean, I guess play with your life, bro. If that's what you want to do. Just
I've been through enough shit medically in the past 2 years that I don't want to deal with like being fucking hooked to a ventilator or some shit.
yeah, I don't
So
want to do that again.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm good. Rich has been through it, and he didn't even have COVID.
No,
So
it wasn't even COVID, but I'm still sucking on a fucking ventilator for a week.
so I want to try to avoid that at all cost. I got a bunch of shit going on that I don't want to have to push back and fucking work my ass off later to catch up.
Man, I feel that shit.
And I was going through my there's an app called Time Hop where you could sync up like your Google Photos, your iCloud, your Facebook, your Instagram, all that. And then every day they could go back as far as your social media does. So every day I search it or I go through it and it tells me what I was doing last year on this day,
Yeah.
so on and so forth.
Right.
So last year is when I believe I had COVID. And as I'm going through these statuses, I was fucked up. Puking for 4 days straight, puking and diarrhea 4 days straight, 103-degree fever. The only symptom I didn't have was I didn't lose loss, no loss of smell or taste.
You're not the only person to tell me that. Um, Man, it's possible. I remember seeing some studies on it, but I don't think they definitively came to any conclusions whether it was here like December, January, or not. But yeah, no, I've heard that story a few
So
times.
last March I was out of it, and as I'm going through it, it was about 3 weeks until I felt normal, and I just thought like I was sick, like maybe the flu or even pneumonia because I had fluid in the lungs.
Right.
Now, what made me believe that I had COVID was when Scarface, the rapper Scarface, did an interview on Willie D's podcast. Willie D is another member of the Ghetto Boys. If for those of you watching, if you don't know who the Ghetto Boys are, They're a very iconic group from Houston.
One of the early rap groups.
Yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. So Scarface broke away and achieved all types of fame and notoriety. He's
They were pretty popping themselves.
yeah. But he had COVID. So he tells a story. He was in hospital altogether for almost 2.5 months. Medically induced coma, all that. Now, when he told a story about how he felt when he got COVID, it was exact same thing that happened to me. He said the first 3 days, he was shitting and vomiting. He could just look at a cup of water and he's shitting. He just look at a bowl of soup and he's throwing up. Like, it was just constantly throwing up. Now, the first 3 days I was sick, the first 24 hours, I threw up 43 times.
That's crazy.
And that's after I started counting. Now, the puking and the diarrhea continued on for 2 days after that.
Is this what you guys fucking tuned in for?
Yeah. And
we give you the straight real.
Yeah.
Really real.
So then after the 3 days, Scarface is like, it stopped. And a fever hit. After 3.5 days,
Scarface or Willie D?
Scarface tells Willie D this is what happens.
Oh, okay.
So after 3.5 days, boom, it stops, and I get a fever that ranges from about 101 to 103. And then my throat closes up, and I'm breathing. I'm taking deep breaths, but it don't feel like I'm getting as much oxygen as I'm breathing in.
Right.
And that lasted for about 2-3 days, which brings me about to about 9 days into this. And then for the next week and a half, I was just fucking lethargic. I had no energy whatsoever. My throat was still fucked up. I had some fluid in the lungs. I'm taking Mucinex, and I'm just expelling all types of. I'm wondering how fast my body can make this mucus. Like, I'm blowing my nose. I did a neti pot that goes, and all this stuff comes out. And as soon as it comes out, it's like it's right back there. And I went through that for about 3.5 weeks before I started feeling normal again.
But you didn't get tested.
But I did not get tested, no. And then when I did end up going in to get tested, when we had like the third scare here at the studio, there was it was too late that antibodies would have been there.
Yeah.
So
I thought I had COVID when I had my brain bleed the week leading up to it. Like, I had the same kind of shit going on. And I took a test when I first got sick. I came back negative, but it was from these immediate cares. And I just didn't trust it, because I was still sick and no one could tell me why. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to old people bitching about their illnesses.
yeah. So I thought I had COVID this time last year and it was really bad. So there was this week, I'm just trying to go through my head of everything that happened this week. We had there was there was a I don't know, a massacre, you could call it, in Atlanta.
Yeah, the shooting. I call it the rub and tug killer.
The rub and tug killer, yes.
I should be laughing about it, but yeah. I keep forgetting this dude's name. I googled it. We're just gonna say his name one time. Robert Aaron Long.
Oh wait, I took the wrong person.
Massage parlors.
Yeah, I was all with the racial basis of it, just because there has been a very large uptick of of violent discrimination against Asians.
There has, and it's
crazy.
It's very legitimate. It's a very legitimate issue. But I think this is just
But
bad
after
timing.
we talked about it after you got here today, and I thought about it about, well, yeah, you if you go to any of these places, it's Asians giving you massages, and especially if it's an Asian massage
Yeah.
place.
You know what I thought it was at first? I thought it was organized crime.
I
Maybe two different
I
Asian gangs fighting for
I
control.
that or some type of fucking drug type shit, like maybe that was a holding spot and they figured it out
Yeah.
or something. But regardless, prayers go out to the families to those who lost people in that. And I guess he's a serial killer technically because he killed more than 3 people.
Well, he's definitely a mass shooter.
Yes, definitely a mass shooter. And
So it's-
again, here we go back to another mass shooter being white.
yeah, no one's talking about that. Where
No, nobody
this
ever
dude
wants
was
to
clearly
talk about
fucked
that.
up. Where'd he get his guns from? Like, there should have
Nobody,
been
no,
measures in
no, nobody
place.
ever wants to talk about that though.
But I do trust the police, even that dumbass sheriff that was shitting on COVID online and fucking said the kid had a bad day, which was just
Bro,
so insensitive.
bro,
But despite that,
I have a bad day all the time. Like, check it out. So I had to go to Crestwood yesterday. I was coming back from Crestwood. Uh, I have a brand new windshield that's like not even 2 months old,
right?
and boom, a rock hits the fucking windshield and fucking
Uh,
gives me a nice fucking big chip.
that's bogus.
So I'm like, bro, I didn't fucking, and I carry a gun. I didn't go shoot up a bunch of people because I had a bad day.
I've had plenty of bad days where I didn't kill 8 people.
I had not even one person.
But I will say that when they say that no evidence came up that he was a white supremacist, I believe that shit. I don't believe you could keep that a secret if you wanted to.
No, no, not usually. Yeah, that's very because they're very emboldened about it lately.
Yeah, I mean, since when do they keep it secrets? Like this dude didn't have one racist Facebook post,
Nothing.
not no racist materials in his house, posters or flags or books. You know, they talked to his roommate. His roommate said he wasn't like that. I can't make something up, but it's just not there. And there's just 0% evidence that he's a white supremacist.
Now, if anything, comes any new evidence is submitted that he may be, then we'll go from there. But so far, he's a self-proclaimed sex addict. So
Probably has an underlying mental illness, would be my guess.
yeah, man,
That probably is considered a mental illness, sex addiction.
yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah,
I believe it
but
is.
he might even have something worse than that. But yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to find all kinds of racist shit, especially when I saw his picture. He looked like he was at the Capitol building on January 6th.
He looked like he may or may not partake in sexual intercourse within people within his family.
That's entirely possible. But I was waiting for some evidence to come in, and it just didn't. You got to call it what it is.
Yeah, I mean, really, and there's been no evidence to the contrary. So it's a fucked up situation. And of course the calls for more gun control and I'm all for that. As liberal as I am,
Most people are
yeah,
actually.
as
It's
liberal as I am,
very popular.
I've we started this show in September. We started the show.
Yeah, I think early fall.
And I've explained it many times. I'm very pro gun. I'm very pro choice. Um, I'm very pro voter rights. I'm very pro almost everything. It's just you don't you could have a little bit of both in you. You don't got to be fuck all Republicans or fuck all liberals or whatever. You could in this day and age you should
That's how most
just be a
people.
decent human fucking being. I mean,
That's how most people find themselves in the
yeah,
middle.
like I'm as much as I'm pro gun. I am pro. We need to expand the background checks because not everybody needs a fucking gun just because they don't have a felony.
There's people out there with guns that should not have them.
Schizophrenics shouldn't have guns.
Right. A lot of these mass shooters, you look at them and you're like, dude, and a lot of them have prior, not so much arrests, but they'll have prior like run-ins with the police. Like the Parkland shooter, their mom I think had
You
called the
you
cops
can
on
no
him
longer
several times, and they didn't take his guns. They couldn't take his fucking guns,
in a
dude.
majority
You're
of
like, you're telling me that,
yes,
dude?
in a majority of states, you cannot have a firearm legally if you've had any kind of domestic uh, uh, disturbance, and even if it's a misdemeanor, you cannot have a gun. So why can't schizophrenics just walk around hearing voices in their head having a gun?
Yeah, those are the red flag laws that some states are trying to put in, and they're being fucking fought tooth and nail by the gun lobby and whatever's left of the NRA and Republicans. But that's what we really need, man. Like police need to. You trust their judgment by giving them a shield and a gun and putting them out on the streets. You're saying, I trust your judgment to enforce the law. They need to trust them to enforce these laws because that's the argument on the other side is always, well, that's a slippery slope. They could just start taking people's guns and blah, blah, blah. Well, you just have to trust these people, man. You put them in
Yeah,
positions of power. If you don't trust them, what are you doing? Why are they there to begin with?
exactly.
Um, and if they come into a situation and they think that this dude or this chick could use her guns to hurt somebody or herself, they need to be confiscated and put them through a legal process to get them back. They can go to court, talk to a judge, maybe complete some fucking classes or something.
Yes.
You know, you just can't be like, well, can't take your guns. Hopefully, you don't fucking shoot a bunch of people tomorrow. There's got to be a better
I
answer than that.
I don't mean to laugh, but fuck. Um, yeah, so I'm all for that. What else has popped off this week? Oh, Miami. Miami is South Beach is a fucking disaster area right now. They implemented a 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew because spring breakers over has totally overtaken fucking Ocean Drive and Collins.
It's the COVID version of the day after tomorrow.
Like it
It just
really
looks
is.
it looks
Like
catastrophic.
these people like flooded the street, which they can because they got the street shut down since COVID because they want to expand outdoor dining and shit like that too. So everybody congregates. It's like if imagine if well they do on New Year's Eve usually they shut the strip down in Las Vegas from Tropicana to Sahara, and then everybody's just out in the streets. Now that's how they were on South Beach last night, and the past couple nights, and these people are trashing restaurants. They're fighting all up and down Collins, and so they implemented. Nobody's out there in a mask either.
No,
So
not a single one of those pictures.
it's insane. It was really crazy. Um, but Florida's gonna Florida.
Florida is always going to Florida.
You'll be there next week.
Yeah, I know.
But you're going to Orlando. I know people in Orlando right now. One of my graphic design guys, other than Rev, shout out to Emilio. He's in Orlando. He's been in Orlando for a couple months, and it's kind of normal there.
Well, Disney World still has a mask order in place. They're still doing limited capacity and social distancing. So, whatever, man. I'll be safe. I'll be flying the Millennium Falcon, and you guys will be hella jealous.
Well, I was thinking about going with you.
Oh, you were gonna come?
I was just because I've been wanting to leave. Like I've been saying, uh, soon as Bugs' album's done, I'm going on vacation. Well, we finished a project here at Villain Radio, and we
Gears to
released
Life available now on hard copy.
yeah
Streaming April 2nd. Very dope project.
on every online platform but Apple Music probably because they like to take exactly 30 days lately. Um, but and it was 4 weeks, so they're gonna make me wait those 2 extra days more than likely. But so I was like, I'm gonna take a vacation. Well, me finishing all the post production, all the packaging, getting everything done. Everybody gets their taxes, everybody gets their stimulus, and everybody's buying these tickets and driving the tickets up.
Yeah.
So I flew to Miami round trip in December for $17.50. I flew to Vegas round trip for two. I bought two tickets to Vegas round trip in November for $61. And now I can't get anywhere for under 300.
That must be because of the gas prices. Damn it, Frankie. Frankie's fucking disrupting our show vibe.
But it's nice to see everything getting back to normal, so to speak. But you know what I wish? Walmart, can you please stay open later than 11 o'clock? Like,
You just gotta go to a better Walmart, bro. I guarantee there's some around here that's 24 hours.
there's nothing. The latest I found one is closes at 12. It's insane. But they say they're still doing it so all their restocking team could restock and respect social distancing guidelines, so there's not a bunch of people in the aisles.
That's fair.
So, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I got to go to Walmart because that's when I have free time, and I can't go legally. I can't go. I mean, I could go and like break in or something, but then I'm not going to be here for a couple weeks.
Just a couple weeks.
Yeah, just a couple weeks. I'll get out. But no, but it's I I, I just here we are a year into it, and we thought it was going to be a couple months. We're a year into it. Nothing's back to normal. As slowly as it's trying to get back to normal, finally, most of California's most populous counties, San Diego just moved from the purple to the red tier, which is better. More things are opening up there and stuff like that too. Um, California also gave out a stimulus of its own to its residents, $600. Everybody got it, whether you're a kid, whatever. You got $600.
Also, Chicago took 80 million of the money they were allotted from this COVID relief package, and they put it towards helping out renters and landlords.
Now check what Indiana's doing with like $10 billion that they have. They are doing a bunch of stuff except giving it to the people. They're giving it to teachers, which is good. Teachers do deserve a raise, but they're giving a teachers a raise without having to raise taxes, which is good for these Republicans. So they could maintain their position. And then but the money's for the people.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if any states just give like just here's an extra stimulus. Like they're doing shit for services and people and companies that have been impacted by COVID. I think, and I mean, unless you tell me that like
No,
the governor just took $5 million and pocketed it.
No, they're taking money now. While they're putting it towards certain shit for like expanded testing and shit like that, they're also not doing shit they should with it. Like there was a couple different school boards that had referendums on ballots this year or in 2020 last year. I keep forgetting it's a whole new year.
It feels like
whole new decade shit. But that people voted. They didn't vote. Didn't vote in favor for these teachers to get the fucking raises.
Oh, so they just fucking subverted the will of the people.
Exactly, and it's not even that. It's just other things for like I just talked about our being in this northwest corner of the state in northwest Indiana. We're essentially we're the Chicagoland area.
Right.
We turn on the TV. We have Chicago channels is what we get. Our Chicago news is what we watch.
The Sun Times and the Tribune.
We have one small newspaper out here, but the circulation is real low nowadays. We're fans of Chicago sports teams, so on and so forth. But we get treated like the redhead stepchild of the state because we're one of the only few Democratic counties.
Yeah.
And a very big Democratic stronghold, so I don't believe there's a Republican in office anywhere in Lake County.
Well, they definitely ain't putting no money into Gary.
No, not at all.
Sure.
And that's what I'm getting at, stuff like that. There's other states with the population right around ours or lower than ours that are putting more of their money towards the people for things like to subsidize people's power bills not being paid or rental help and shit like that. They're giving it to the teachers, which is cool. No, don't get me wrong. Like I said, they deserve more money, but we tried to vote for them. We tried to vote for that shit, and the Republicans are like, no. Like it was up to Lake County, it would have passed.
Right. Well, maybe that's a win for you guys then. that you somehow got around the
I don't.
Republican
We're
fucking speed
never.
bump.
We're never going to. It is, but there's a lot of people up here that could have benefited from that money. You
Well,
know.
I'm sure they got more than what they gave to the teachers. Question is, what would they do with the rest?
I'm gonna do some more research into that because I kind of skimmed through it and I was just shitty about the whole thing. But yeah, I can't wait to hopefully get my vaccine soon and just try to get
We need to start being able to fucking throw events.
that's
We
exactly
throw
what I was getting
events,
at.
yo. We throw events and sell merchandise. Like
When
that was our bread and butter
when
before
all this
COVID.
is over, I'm putting together an event where you come and it's like it's a whole evening event. You're gonna come and you're gonna experience our shows live. We're gonna do White Devils live. We're gonna do Sunday night dinner live or Sunday dinner live, like on stage. It's kind of like Joe Budden took his podcast and they sold tickets and sold out everywhere they did.
We just got to make sure
We probably
sell
won't
out there.
sell out exactly. That's why it will be in Illinois more than likely. There's a lot more lenient venues there.
Yeah.
Because this marijuana's the devil's lettuce out here.
Well, and there's probably a lot more
You know
deadly
how
faces out
you
there.
know how the teachers could have got paid is if they legalized marijuana out here, but our Republican governor said it has no medicinal properties and he will not legalize it in any shape or form as long as he's governor. But why can't we do what a lot of other states do? Why can't we gather the signatures and get it put on a like a ballot question?
I don't know if your laws are
That you know
like that.
I'm born I was born and raised in East Chicago, Indiana. But I've been based on the West Coast for half of my life, for about 19 of my 40 years. So I'm also not real current with Indiana's thing, but that's how it did in Nevada. That's how it did in Arizona. That's how it did it in Colorado. I think Illinois might have been Illinois and New Jersey might have been the only ones where the governor was like,
There's got to
take
be
the weed.
There's got to be in Indiana some group that's trying to push weed
Yeah,
legislation.
yeah.
We should have
It's
one
normal.
of them on the show.
I actually have somebody. I have somebody. His name, he's one of my good friends. He goes by the name of Ricochet. He is a local rapper. He also owns a CBD store. It's a CBD store all year, except for like, he kind of dials down the CBD sales beginning of June because he owns like a big old warehouse store and it's a fireworks. Willie Works Fireworks.
Right.
But he's a big proponent of the legalization of hemp in Indiana, legalization of marijuana, and I could definitely get him on the show. And he might be good for this because he was also in very many ways pro Trump.
That would be interesting.
So I'll give him a call later and see get him on for episode of season 3, which will start in 2 weeks from today.
Yep. So what do you think about that southern border? That's such a generic ass way to fucking launch a conversation. How about that weather? How about that border?
It's a weird situation for me because I've witnessed it firsthand. I lived in the San Diego area basically for the past 7 years. I've only been back out here for about a year, so spent 7 years out there. Crossing the border just to go get tacos type shit, you know.
Right.
I spent all my holidays in Mexico. So birthday parties, all that. We did everything there because it was cheaper, you know. Could make everything more extravagant.
Yeah.
Like we had my stepdaughter turned 18 and it would have cost us like $3,800 just for the haul we wanted, for the time slot in the day that we wanted, right? And it's like 5 hours. Well, we paid for everything in Mexico for like 25.
Nice.
And that's the venue, that's a DJ, that's the food, catering, that's the alcohol.
You definitely went with the exchange rate.
Yeah, definitely. But it's nothing it's nothing new. It comes in waves.
Up very high right now.
It's up very high and it's more reported now.
Yeah. Well, you know, people want to blame the Biden administration. And it's something that they're going to have to own.
Yeah, they're going to have to own it, but it's
not like they said, "Hey, just come on." Like it was just a byproduct of Trump being booted from office and Biden coming into office.
Exactly.
But there was a
It's
couple developments this week, or at least you see the Biden administration reacting.
yeah.
Like we were talking earlier, he did the interview. I think it was ABC or CBS
But
earlier this week,
here's
and he told people don't come.
yeah.
They set they passed a new immigration measure, I believe, or I think it was probably one of his executive orders that you can file for asylum from your home. You don't have to come anymore. So he's trying to do that to encourage people not to come to the border.
Here's what I want to see from his administration. I want to see them be proactive and not reactive to these situations. I want them to go in. The whole customs and border system has to be overhauled. It's not, no matter what administration comes in, they're going to have the same problems till they overhaul the whole fucking thing, and it's insane. I deal with these officers all the time over the past 7 years, 7 8 years. I had regular contact. Sometimes everything's moving efficiently, sometimes it's not. Um, and the whole process needs to be overhauled.
Yeah, when they have an immigration bill, and I mean, I think it already passed the House, and it's sitting in the Senate. But here we go, back to the filibuster, back to can you get 10 Republicans to come on board,
Yes.
or do you take the nuclear option, blow up the filibuster, and then it's 51 to pass it? But then maybe if you lose control, they might repeal it.
Yeah.
Mitch might. But man, I wanted to get some fucking footage of Mitch talking shit. He had an op-ed early
Yeah,
last week where it was basically all scare tactics and trying to scare us into not blowing up the filibuster.
I mean, theoretically, he can't live much longer.
Yeah, but it don't have to be him that does it. But that's why the first thing you need to do after you blow up the filibuster is blow up the electoral college. Then another Republican will never become president.
Gobble gobble.
Turkey neck.
Turkey
Neck looking like
bastard.
a 50-year-old veg. Roast beef ass neck.
Neck looking like a sex change gone wrong.
But yeah, we need to do something to get these bills through, man. There's the gun control one, which we've already
Yes.
discussed. There's healthcare, the Voters' Rights Act, which is so crucial right now because so many Republican state legislatures are pushing these bills through that are restricting voting, which I know you guys have heard me fucking rant and rail on pretty much weekly at this point. I didn't pull the new bills this week. We'll probably do that in season 3. I'm cool on that. But yeah, there was a Biden administration spokesperson on CNN this morning, just flat out saying we're turning away families at the border. We're just turning them away. The problem is that all these unaccompanied minors are coming through.
Yes,
and it's a tough spot. We don't have the facilities to house them properly. So
and that's
exactly
exactly
with kids in cages again.
and that's exactly where these cages came from. They're like the Obama administration started this.
Family. No,
Well, that's how it started.
Obama was incarcerated or locking people up in cages, and then Trump was separating families.
Well, here's what happened. Here's where it all started. These migrant facilities were first built during the Obama administration for unaccompanied minors that came to the border. They took these kids and tried to figure out what to do with them. They didn't just leave them there. Like Mexico was just leaving them there. Like, hey, if they died at the wall, they died at the wall.
They got a big ass tent city right now, right on the Mexico side of the
border.
Waiting to come in.
So it's either way, it's a fucked up situation. Everything has to be the whole immigration process has to be overhauled. The customs and border whole department has to be overhauled. ICE needs to be abolished.
You know where this? I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with you about.
I do.
Abolishment ICE. We need somebody to do that job. They just need to be directed properly and not abusive to people.
They do what the U.S. but they're doing what the U.S. Marshal Service has done for years.
With a full immigration plan passed, they wouldn't be doing none of that shit they're doing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because
they would have these people that they're taking would have a legal plan to become a citizen. But you know where all this immigration stuff takes me, and this is a weird twist. It takes me to the legalization of drugs.
Okay.
Because if you take away the cartel's finances, you take away their power, and then you take away a lot of the reasons that these kids are running from Central America to begin with.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then that's a tricky problem unto itself, and it's not a really discussion I'm prepared to have today.
Oh,
But I mean, it all adds up, man. Like if you take their money from them, then they're not on shit. Then they can't be harassing and threatening people and scaring them, making them run for our border. Also, Trump cut the funding to these Central American countries, which we could provide again and start not with the cartels, but like they went through COVID, and they ain't getting all the funding we're getting. You know what I'm saying? They're a third world country. And then they had a couple tornadoes that demolished their shit, and they already live in like mud huts, damn near.
yeah.
You know, that country, those countries in Central America need some help. They need some aid. If you want to have the foreign aid discussion, there's some of that shit I think could be trimmed. But down there, I think our money can do a lot of good, and it will slow the rate of immigrants coming to our border looking for asylum, and that's how I feel.
Hey, I'm with you.
So, I mean, there's really not a whole lot else to talk about.
No.
Season 2.
Season 2 started, like we said, with me and Eddie. When me and Eddie starting the season, because Rich was at this point, we had just learned that he had been MIA for a couple weeks, and we learned he had been in the hospital, and then he was in a coma. Rich awoke from the coma not too long after the white national terrorist attack on the Capitol.
I woke up the day there was the press conference with the head of the DOJ and the FBI.
That was a Sunday, right?
Man, I couldn't even tell you.
I'm thinking it was the Sunday after. That's what I'm thinking. Because you called me, I think, on Tuesday, and then the next day you did the show from the fucking. He did a whole show. He did the show from the ICU bed. Fucking monitors on him and shit.
I hope you guys tuned in.
Yeah.
I did
If
it for the
not,
people that day.
go to YouTube, search Villain Radio Network, and there's playlist. Click White Devils, and you can go back from season 1 to season 2. We will start season 3 2 weeks from today. And by that time, we should all be back together. Excuse me.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have Eddie resurface, and I'll be a little refreshed because I did most of the season, especially the last 4 to 6 weeks, probably on an empty tank of gas, man.
Radical Rich is falling apart.
Yeah, well, I'm starting to put myself back together piece by piece, but it's been quite the process.
Yeah, it's definitely been one we've all had our little.
Yeah, you've had your health issues too, man.
Yeah, it hasn't been
this getting old thing blows.
It hasn't been easy, but I want to thank everybody for tuning in, our repeat viewers every week. And I promise you, we'll have our shit back together for season 3.
Yeah, we're still trudging through it, man. We're learning lessons, and it's growing pains. We'll be okay. We're gonna talk about ways to keep improving the show and work on turning them numbers up because we haven't. You guys might see our numbers, and every stream has their own individual plays, so it looks lower than it is. But B, we haven't been promoting this show really at all.
No, not at all.
And that's something that we intend to start doing more of to really build up our numbers and our fan interaction. And season 3 will probably be the launch of that, and some other new things as well.
Yeah, I got all types of stuff planned that I want to start implementing. I want to do a little short run of merch. You guys want to support us or some stuff like that too. So,
don't hate us. Spend money with us.
Exactly. But as always, be safe out there. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yo, what happened to peace?